Are you?
Isaac also Issamyth.
Issamyth. So what's your thing? For the viewers that don't know, what are you about? What's your brand, etc., etc.?
So I own a fashion brand called Issamyth, and it basically stemmed from 2023. I kind of started when I was in college, and I was in that stage in my life where I think everyone goes through it, especially if you're a teenage boy in the UK. You're like, what do I want to do with my fucking life? Like, you're in college, you're doing different subjects. Your parents are telling you shit, your mates are telling you shit. You don't fucking idea what you want to do. But I always had a passion for fashion. I always loved, even when I was a little kid, like I loved like the different materials, like, do you know what I mean? Like sport. I was obviously big into sports when I was a kid, like footy, like cricket, all that. So I've always loved like the uniform. Even though I'm a chef in it, I love my chef uniform. Like I just love everything. I look at like, all the details and shit. And yeah, that's just where it came from.
What inspirations did you draw from at such a young age in your clothing? What did you take from it?
I would say my biggest inspiration, and I wouldn't even call it an inspiration, to be honest with you. I would say it was just a way to release how I was feeling in that moment. So obviously that I feel like you deal with shit in a lot of ways. People, do you know what I mean? People go out drinking, people do drugs, people do whatever. And I felt like when I was putting my thoughts into a design and kind of doing it that way, like instead of writing it down or, do you know what I mean, what people would normally do, or talk to someone, I would make a jacket or make a pair of pants, you know what I mean? That kind of symbolised what I was going through in that moment in time. So that's why none of my clothes, I kind of have different themes across the year. And none of my clothes are kind of the same because it's all in the moment and it's all like different. It's not one piece will be the same as the last.
Does your inconsistency with your clothing, each clothing piece being different, does that stem from your ADHD or does that stem from elsewhere?
I would say, because when I started my fashion, my journey in fashion, I was undiagnosed with me. I didn't even know I had ADHD at that point, do you know what I mean? But as I've learned more about myself and more about my brain and whatnot, I feel like that's kind of the way, do you know what I mean? I've got so many ideas all the time. My brain is constantly just bang, 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 idea after idea. That's kind of just how my brain works. I just get idea after idea, and that's just kind of my my way of fashion designing.
Do you have an issue with procrastination to do with your ADHD in terms of when you want to make clothes and like actually getting to produce clothes, or is it just a on the moment kind of thing?
Yeah, I feel like with any creative, I feel like every creative deals with that. Do you know what do we call it? Writer's block. And do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like obviously I could have weeks where I won't have a single idea, and do you know what I mean? Life's life, and life gets in the way of shit. Do you know what I mean? But then I'll have a day where I could make 100 designs in one day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's very inconsistent, but that's how I like it. Because I think that's kind of, it aligns with my vision and what I want to do more, because I think the whole idea of it being spontaneous and in the moment, and that is what I want kind of people to look at my brand and see and be different to other people, do you know what I mean?
Can you elaborate more on the vision of the brand of Issamyth?
So the whole idea, and I wouldn't even just say just to do with fashion, just in my life in general, is I don't look for perfection. I don't strive to make a piece of like a jacket and think, I'm gonna make money off this, or this is gonna be my best design so far. People are gonna love this. Do you know what I mean? I make it because I genuinely feel like in the moment making it. Do you know what I mean? And I think that is different to what a lot of other brands do. I think sadly, in any business, in any industry, most people are in it for the money nowadays. Do you know what I mean? It's all about money. It's all about, and the times we live in, everything's cost of living crisis, everything's so expensive. You can't blame people for the money. Do you know what I mean? The times we live in. So, but I do think that affects the industry. That takes away the creativeness and the kind of vision that I think people could, not even just talk about myself, just in general. Do you know what I mean? Because I want to see fashion move on and go to different places, and I feel like when money's involved, and it's all about money, and that's how the fashion industry is. It's very controversial. I feel like people in the fashion industry, like, there's a way of doing things, there's a way of getting big, there's a way of being successful, and the sad truth is you can't do it without money. It's 99% is money, connections, and knowing people, not about your talent or skill.
Well, that was a question I was going to ask. I was going to say, if you maybe focused on a profit-based business scale, surely you'd have more money to put back into the creative, which would then allow you to do a lot more in the creative control. I mean, you were showing me a pair of jeans before where 3 different leathers, very unique. But if you had the kind of money to do that more often, surely that could create more business for you and to push that ideal forward. You know what I mean? No,
definitely. And I think that's the hard part about fashion in general. There's a very fine line between. Do you know what I mean? I feel like there's a very fine line between
greed and purpose.
Yeah, greed and purpose, and it's like, and I feel like the money and the attention that you get from, because it's, do you know what I mean? Fashion is very out there. Yeah. I think it's the most out there you can kind of get with the runways and all the whatnot. Everyone wears clothes, you know what I mean? Not one person in the world, do you know what I mean? So everyone can relate to it. Yeah.
Big up the exhibitionists.
Exactly. But I just think, I don't like the direction fashion is going now. I don't like it at all.
I mean, like you said, we are in a cost of living crisis, and fashion is one of the most productive industries, which is also embedded in kind of bad business practice. Do you have anything to say on like business practices of like what is called fast fashion?
Yeah, so I'm against fast fashion. So I think it just sums up the world. Everything's so fast paced now. Everything's about getting. It's not about quality over quantity. Do you know what I mean? And it's about getting it out there as fast as possible. You can post, do you know what I mean? People saying TikTok now, it's all about post 3 videos a day, do all this shit. And it's like, do you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like people are losing that kind of that, as I said, as to linking back to my whole point about being spontaneous in the moment. It's like, I feel like it just forces, we steal people's designs, do you know what I mean? It's taking money from the people who actually sit down for hours in a day with that, do you know what I mean? Because even though it's fast fashion and it's morally wrong and whatnot, at the end of the day, it's still being handcrafted by someone. There's still a human being making that piece of clothing, so you've still got to respect it. Do you know what I mean? Even if you're buying a £3 t-shirt off Shein, because do you know what I mean, Shein's bad for you. You know, I know so many people our age, especially in this generation, do you know what I mean? It's Shein, it's Pretty Little Thing, like Boohoo Man, all that stuff, and do you know what I mean? I feel like we steal designs off people, like, and I just feel like it's just wrong. It's just wrong.
On top of that, you have AI, generative AI, entering the fashion industry very quick. From what's turned into niche little joke AI tops has turned pretty front standing. You see AI designs pretty much everywhere now in the fashion world.
Yeah.
What are your opinions on AI as a whole in creative spaces?
I've got a very strong opinion on AI. I honestly, I hate it. I think AI is the worst thing to exist in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, minus all, do you know what I mean? There's a lot of worse stuff. Like, I could go on all day. But you know what I'm trying to say? I think AI, even I don't even know when you go on Google and you search up, and I've turned that off. I've turned that off because I don't want to use it. I think it obviously damages the fucking world, and I think it makes people lazy. I think the last few, I feel like ever since I was in school, so I'm 22 now. So when I was about 50, a good 7 years ago, I felt when TikTok Musical.ly and TikTok started becoming a thing, and it's just gone on that path, hasn't it? And now we've got AI. Who knows what's going to be? Imagine in 5-10 years, who knows where we're going to be? But it is going to be it is a part of fashion, and it's going to continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger, sadly. So I think something has to be done about it. I think there's going to be some situations where people are going to start using it out of laziness, and then, do you know what I mean? I feel like if you put a prompt into AI, and the AI could Could it not steal someone else's design and kind of do its own thing, but kind of take that someone else's idea and, do you know what I mean? You're not doing anything. You just kind of, it's just laziness. Like that's all I can describe it, and I just think it's just wrong. Like I hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a quote not that long ago, which was basically saying AI was the greatest last invention humanity ever made.
Yeah.
Like you said, obviously, when it comes into the creativity part of things, these language models work off just scraping things and taking it. So, like you said, the AI might be creating it, but it might be taking inspiration from 3-4 different creators that's like yourself.
Exactly, and it's like, I remember being in school, this just popped into my head. Do you remember when teachers used to say, "I don't use Wikipedia," and like, because it could have misinformation on it. I think Wikipedia, at least it's real people writing that misinformation. It's not some robot. Do you know what I mean? Like, at least someone's actually taking the time out of the day to type that crap, not some fucking robot. Do you know what I mean? I just think it's crazy. I think I hate it. I can't put into words how much I hate it. Honestly, you set me off here.
Looping back before, you said you show a lot of emotion in your clothing.
Yeah.
Can you explain how you show emotion in clothing?
The best way I can describe it is, it's the same to me as if you would just simply write down your thoughts on a piece of paper or draw a picture of anything, a tree. Do you know what I mean? I feel like, to me, it's just as simple as that. It's just getting my sketchbook out, or even just in my head, just thinking of a design. Or I feel like if I'm going through tough times, like I feel like with my undiagnosed ADHD and all that type of mental shit you go through, I think it was a very easy way for me to kind of express myself. Do you know what I mean? Express myself, and it was a positive thing that I felt like kind of made a difference to my life personally. And do you know what I mean? I feel like it's a good feeling to make something, see the whole process, actually create it, and then see people's. I try not to read into other people's opinions, but I feel like with social media now that you can't, do you know what I mean? It's everywhere, you can't escape it anymore, so you just got to deal with that, and you just got to ignore the negative stuff, I guess. But I think when you do see a good comment, or do you know, when you see someone say, "Oh, it's nice," that, and it's like, it's a good feeling, it makes you feel good about yourself. And I feel like, in a way, that was kind of a distraction for myself, if that makes sense. To kind of take my mind away from where it was.
Yeah, you talk about where it was. We've talked a bit about your history with drugs and stuff like that. How did clothing or being creative kind of get you away from abuse of substances?
I would simply just say time. It would distract me. I feel like, what's the word I'm looking for? I kind of focus on certain things for a certain amount of time, or all the time. Like, it could be anything in life. It could be a person, it could be a thing, it could be a hobby, it could be any. And do you know what I mean? I bounce off different things all the time, and I think having fashion, I think it's just endless. The ideas and the stuff you can do in fashion. Do you mean designing is just, as I said, designing is just 1% that goes into fashion and being a fashion designer, whatever you want to call it. That, like, actually sewing and whatever, that's just 1%, and it's marketing, it's business. Do you know what I mean? There's so much that goes into it, and I think for someone like me who, where my brain just never turns off, it never stops. I like to be, do you know what I mean? I need to keep busy. I need to keep myself distracted. And I think that is one of the best ways to deal with, even though you should always talk about your emotions. I'm not saying don't talk. I mean, I'm not saying throw therapy and all that into the bin and make clothes. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm saying. But I think the purpose of finding that passion and that hobby, whatever, not even for money, not even for like to make a living, just for fun, just as a hobby. I think that's important for anyone to have. Like, not even just a fashion, not even to be a fashion designer or whatever, even if it's just writing or reading a book. Do you know what I mean? I feel like everyone needs a good kind of thing to like lean on.
Obviously, you're a clothing guy. You do clothes. What are your favorite pieces, and what do they mean to you? You can just describe them and then, post type shit.
So, I would say my favorite piece. So I made a leather jacket. It was my first ever piece I ever made, I think. It was a leather jacket. It was originally a black leather, and I painted white on it all over it. And the idea behind it was kind of, when I first started designing, I had this idea where it was kind of like yin and yang, and it had two sides of it, where you kind of had the light and the dark, where I would have a white piece, let's say a white pair of leather pants, which were originally black, and over time as you wear them and you fade, they'll return to the original colour. And I think that is kind of one of my visions with my brand. It's like, nothing lasts forever. Nothing will ever. Do you know what I mean? That's just, I think, one thing I've learned in life is nothing's permanent and everything's temporary, and everything can be taken away just like that. And you know what I mean? You could be far, you could be on top of the world one day, you could be on the floor the next. And I think I wanted to showcase that in fashion. I wanted to make something where over time it would change. It's not just something where you buy it and you kind of throw it in your wardrobe, forget about it and never see it again. I wanted to create something which would last a lifetime, but also tell a story within that time, not just be there for no reason. Do you know what I mean? I wanted it to have its own life. Like, do you know what I mean? The actual pair of pants could have its own lifespan and turn into something different like we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Comes with age to change and then it grows.
Yeah,
I'm with you. Do you have any other pieces of clothing? Well, obviously I have plenty of pieces of clothing, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what did I talk about?
The black jacket?
The black jacket, yeah. So that was. So I made another version of that jacket to start with. It wasn't just black. It had the same texture as I just described with the white paint. It was the same kind of idea, but I did a jacket and I did a pant set as well. And the idea behind that jacket is really, it was kind of a bit of fun that I could sit here and lie and make up some whole mad deep kind of story about that jacket, but it was kind of just one of them things where I had an idea and it kind of just like came through like well, and I liked the idea of kind of the three zips and how you can take, do you know what I mean, take the sleeves off, and you can change it from a very heavyweight kind of winter jacket into something you'd wear in summer, or you could wear, do you know what I mean, when the weather gets a bit bad. And it just, I feel like I like the idea of, as I like one of my main things in life in general as well is I love to see the good things in people and the good things in things that people might just look, not even give a second. Do you know what I mean? It's like, look, I love seeing people's imperfections. I think people should embrace what's wrong with it. Do you know what I mean? I feel like everyone wants to be so perfect, and especially, as I said, I keep mentioning social media, but it has such a big influence on all our lives, where everyone wants to be seen as put together and perfect, and they got their life sorted and all that. But that's just fake, innit? And I mean,
the question is what is normal, right?
Exactly. What is normal? Who created this whole construct of normality and what we should do or shouldn't do? And I just think if I could at least change just one person's opinion on kind of, and the outlook on life in that sense, just to enjoy life and not get carried away with other people's opinions or looking good for someone else, or just, do you know what I mean? All that type of stuff. And I just think if I can just help even just one person, then that would mean my job's done. Because I know if I was in that situation and I didn't have this outlook on life, I'd be very grateful to kind of have someone share that. Genuinely, like, cause that's just how I see life, innit? And I feel like if I was to sit here and lie and be like, oh, well, I could see why people view life in that way, then I feel like that would just be fake. Because I felt my whole thing is I see life in this sense, and that's just how it is for me. And no one can change that opinion for me, for my personal life. And I think if I can kind of push that idea of originality, then I'll be happy.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about you want to help other people, but how do people support you the best? What makes you want to make more clothing, post more, get your brand out there? What supports you the best?
Yeah, I honestly, I don't think too much about it. I don't think too much about it, honestly. I don't. As I said before, when we're with my brain and how my brain works and how it's fast paced and everything's bang, bang, bang. I know it's kind of maybe a bit cliche and a bit like simple of me, to say, but I just don't think about shit like that. I think I'm thinking about other people and I'm thinking about other things so much. I don't have the time to think about myself, and I kind of put myself last, and that's something I need to improve on myself. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's something I need to definitely improve on.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's better to do something for yourself and do it for other people, because the second those people start to fall, then your business eventually will probably go with it.
No, exactly. And I think in life you only have yourself in it.
Yeah.
And I think it is I think it's the easy route to kind of be there for other people, trying to help other people, because at the end of the day, you're just ignoring the bigger problem, which is within yourself. But I think that's something we all deal with, and we all kind of. I think you could even go to the point and say that's the meaning of life. Do you know what I mean? Is finding the best way to survive yourself, and the best way to, do you know what I mean, to go through life with as much ease as possible, because shit's hard and shit will always be hard. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Life will always be hard, and that's just how it is. But it's just about making it as best as you possibly can.
Yeah. I mean, have you got any final words? Anyone you'd like to big up, or?
Issamyth for life. Get on JemWyatt for any videography. You know that. Get on my guy Liam for your interviews. And I'm out.
This has been Who Are You with
Isaac Smith, Issamyth, or anything else.